I don't know what's up and why I keep wanting to talk. But I was driving this morning and some thoughts were coming to me. And I was thinking on them passively while I was driving, just like offhandedly. And it's about fear. And by the way, this might sound different because I'm parked at a park right now and killing time. So I figured I might as well talk about these thoughts that have been in my mind. And you might hear cars and different sounds. If you do, I apologize. Nothing I can do about it. Deal with it. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is fear. Fear keeps popping into my mind. And it's probably because I got a fortune cookie yesterday about fears, like tackle your fears. And I was like, huh, what do you mean? What fears? And the reason I say that is because I don't really fear a lot. I fear drowning because I don't know how to swim, but there's no real fear anymore within me. And I've noticed this. And the reason why this is popping into my mind is because last year around this time, I randomly just jumped out of a plane to skydive. And the whole time I thought there would be fear, but there never was. There was excitement. There was a giant Kool-Aid smile on my face the entire way up and the entire way down. But there was never any fear, which is wild when you think about it. It was my first time in an airplane. I should have been afraid. I should have been like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? I should have, but none of that ever came. And I don't know if it's just because it was like a 2-year anticipation thing. Like I had that passing thought like, yo, I should skydive one day. And it was just at the back of my mind. And so 2 years of building like that, I don't know, maybe. But there was no fear. And I was thinking on this, why was there no fear? And I think it's a large part to do with my spiritual journey and my healing journey and life. I tackle everything head on. Whether I know it or not, I will tackle it. Whether I'm like accustomed to it or not, I'll try to face it. And that's how you overcome fears. You face them. You don't run from them. You face them and you put yourself in that situation so you can teach your body that, hey, it's okay. Hey, I can get through this. Hey, I have the strength to deal with this and overcome this. And from that comes power and confidence. And when you think about it, the spiritual journey and the healing journey is exactly the same way. Instead of facing like fears like snakes or spiders or jumping out of an airplane or heights or all that, what you're facing when it comes to your healing journey and the spiritual journey is you're facing yourself. You're facing your shadow, the parts of you that do fear, the parts of you that have responses that aren't yours. Oh, there's a falcon up here. Cool. Oh my God. I'm gonna get distracted by animals. But anyway, that got me thinking. This is why a lot of people need therapy. This is why a lot of people need help and can't find it. This is why a lot of people cannot heal. It's because they're afraid of themselves. They're afraid of the hurt that these traumas bring up. They're afraid of discovering who they truly are. They're afraid of seeing truth. A lot of people can't face themselves when you think about it. And that's why so many people and so many humans walk around unhealed and just toxic, you know? And it's not even intentionally. I think it's easier. It's easier to not face yourself. It's easier to not face your traumas. It's easier to not face those cycles and those things that you have to break. And I think that leads to people just putting their head down and spending all their time filling their life with stuff that distracts them from doing the inner work. And that's kind of special when you think about the people that are doing the inner work, with how rare it is and how hard it is. And I don't think like this when I'm doing my journey. I never really stopped to think, yo, this was hard as fuck. But it was. When you stop and think about like, man, I really faced that. Man, I really faced myself there. Man, I really went and dug that wound that was at my core since I was a kid. And when you stop and think that, And you know a lot of people can't do that. It kind of makes you appreciate yourself. It's doing that for me anyway. It's making me appreciate the fact that I conquered fears. I conquered the wounds. I conquered the traumas. And I'm just living free right now. There's no worries and doubts about the past like that. There's no hang-up. Well, there are still hang-ups, but we're human. We're always going to have hang-ups, you know? But for the most part, my head is empty. My emotional body is empty. There's still wounds there, yeah, whatever. Like I said, we're always going to have wounds, stuff to work on. But for the most part, the real anchors that were bringing me down and holding me back from being my true self and from shining, those are gone. And the reason they're gone is because I faced those fears. I faced myself. I faced my shadow. And because I did that, I found power. I no longer live in fear. Before, I used to be socially anxious. I couldn't even go outside. I couldn't go to grocery stores. I couldn't go to the stores. It was always like fear of judgment, fear of being seen, fear of being perceived. I conquered all of that. There's still a little bit, but it's mostly to do with the throat. I still fear a little bit talking, which is why these podcasts are so huge for me. Like, to you guys, it's just a guy talking. But to me, who was a silent Buddhist monk all my life because of trauma, these things are huge to me. Even me right now speaking to you guys is conquering a fear. It's conquering an insecurity, a huge one, actually. Where I always grew up being silent. And as an adult and a teen, I was like, yeah, I don't know how to socialize. I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to deal with people. So I'm just not going to. But here as an adult who's been working on their healing and their inner traumas and their inner work and those fears, I'm conquering it by talking and doing these. And you guys don't see that. But it is, you know, it's like these things are huge to me. Whereas to you guys, it's just a dude talking on the internet. Which is also a gift when you think about it. Like, I'm giving you guys the hard lessons that I went through. Everything that I speak on, I didn't read it in a book. I didn't read it in some Carl Jung poem or something, you know. I didn't read it in no philosophy book. I lived all of this, and I'm living all of this. Everything I give is from firsthand wisdom and experience and knowledge. I don't speak on nothing that I personally haven't experienced, because at that point you're fake, to me anyway. And I'm all about like realness. I've always been, which was interesting because those traumas were keeping me from being real, you know, because they were hiding this person right now who's speaking to you. They were hiding the courage and the strength and the resilience, you know, because it clouded the traumas and all that. The darkness and the shadow clouds who you truly are. That fear, living in fear, living of everything, fear of everything, you know, fear of the world ending, fear of people judging you, fear of things going wrong, fear of things going right, honestly. There are so many fears in this world, and honestly, they're all valid because they stem from your traumas, most likely. They stem from your shadow. And some of them are irrational. Yeah, irrational fears exist too. But that's the thing. That's what's like so important about all of this work, is to conquer those, and also to give people grace, because you don't know what they're overcoming. You don't see within them what they're afraid of. You don't see the little steps that they're taking, like talking on a podcast, to conquer themselves, to face themselves, and to show themselves and who they really are, and to grow as a person. We don't see these things. That's why I'm always more inclined to give people the benefit of the doubt, you know? I'm more inclined to show them grace and patience, because I don't know where they're coming from and they don't know where I'm coming from. So to treat people as like they know what they're doing at all times is kind of unfair, because a lot of us don't know what we're doing, you know? We're just making this all up as we go. and hoping we do the best that we can. And sometimes that's all you can do. There's people that are afraid to drive, you know. This is what I was thinking about too, because I was on my drive and I was just passively thinking, man, I used to be socially anxious to come out here. And I never really I was never afraid of driving. And I don't know why. Why did that not translate? But see, here's the thing. When I would get out of the car, my hands would be sweaty. So I think I was nervous. I think I was afraid. But I just didn't let it, conquer me. Because, hey, I still have places to go. I still have things to do, you know. And despite that, I think one of the biggest things was that I trusted myself. And this is a big part of fear as well, and conquering yourself and conquering your fears and conquering your traumas. You have to trust yourself that no matter what you're going to do, you can accomplish it. You can take steps and practice and learn and do these things more and more and more until you're good at them. I still suck at small talk. I still don't know how to approach somebody, a random person, and just strike up a conversation. I don't know how to do that. Still. I'm 35, about to be 36, and I still don't know how to do that. But I will learn. I trust myself to learn that skill, because that's what it is. Everything in life is a skill if you think about it, because none of us know what we're doing, like I said. So all of this is a skill that you're building. We're honestly playing a video game, like an RPG, where we're building up our traits and our stats and our skills. The more you do things, the better you get. Which is part of conquering fears too, because I might want to go somewhere new that I've never been, like doing these podcasts. And there's an inherent fear when I first started where I'm like, no, I can't do that. No, man, what if I mess up? No, what if I say the wrong things? What if I lead people down the wrong path? What if I permanently say something that scars somebody or sticks with them negatively, you know? Those thoughts are there. Those fears are there. But I did these podcasts through those, you know. I spoke through them. I pushed past the fears and trusted in myself and in my wisdom that I'll give you guys what you need. And I still don't know the full scope of where this is going or why. I just know I have to do it. At a soul level, I have to conquer these fears. I have to speak, because even if you guys don't learn anything from these podcasts, even if you guys don't take anything and nothing resonates, it's helping me. It's healing something within me. It's healing that voice issue within myself. It's healing that inner child who decided they're going to go quiet because nobody hears them. I'm using my voice for myself more than anything, even if it feels uncomfortable. And what's crazy is you guys probably don't even pick up on that. You guys don't pick up on that fear. You guys probably don't pick up on that uncomfortableness. And it's crazy when you sit and think about that, how we do things like this. We conquer these things daily, yearly, and nobody knows. Nobody knows the scope of the things that we're doing. Somebody might be outside at the grocery store, and you can tell they're nervous. You know, you can tell they're socially anxious. And it might be easy for people to just judge that. Like, oh, look at this weirdo. Why are they shivering? But they don't understand that this person has agoraphobia. You know, they're afraid of being outside. I think it's agoraphobia. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I guess I just want to tell you guys, if you're conquering anything, if you're battling anything, which you likely are because this is human nature, show compassion to yourself, man. You're learning these things as you go. Nobody gave you the roadmap to finish everything, to know where you're going, to conquer these things. Nobody told you how to be confident. Nobody told you how to be a good speaker. Nobody told you how to learn. Nobody told you any of this. People tried to teach you growing up, but sometimes traumas prevented you from taking those lessons. And you have to learn them as an adult, you know? Like, I have to learn how to talk to people. I have to learn how to use my voice. Ooh, there's a husky. Oh my God, these parks are a bad... These parks are not a good spot to do podcasts because random husky. There was a random cat here earlier too. Random falcon. So much life. All precious. Just like you are. Because you're conquering these things. You're facing your fears. When nobody's forcing you to. You're doing this on your own, with your own volition. You know, you're choosing to face your shadow. You're choosing to face your fears. And even if you don't know what you're doing or where you're going or the why of why you want to conquer these things, you're still doing it. You're brave as hell. That's what you don't understand. And if nobody's told you this recently or ever in your life, I'm proud of you. I may not know you, but I'm proud you're finding stuff like this and you're using it to your own benefit, on your own dime, on your own time, with your own life, you know? You're choosing to go into your darknesses and face these things. And it's a very tough thing to do that not many people do. So if this helps you in any way, I hope so. Because like I said earlier, it helps me just to talk and share these things with you guys. So take it easy on yourself. Go slow with some of this stuff. And if you are going slow with it, don't beat on yourself while you're facing these things and while you're trying to conquer these things and learn new skills or advance skills. And another important thing is don't compare your journey to anybody else's as well. Don't compare your progress to somebody else. Yes, you can look at others and use them as inspiration, but don't compare. Don't be like, man, that guy knows how to speak clearly and eloquently. I can't talk at all. You know, don't do that. Because all that does is just put doubts into your mind that you can't accomplish these things, that you can't get there. That guy got there because they're either a natural or they practice talking a lot, you know? I'm using myself and my own hangups as an example because a lot of people do this. A lot of people compare. Man, this person's so healed. Man, that person's strong. Man, that person's like... Everything you see in that person is within you as well. I've been speaking about this a lot in these last couple podcasts. And it's because reality is a reflection. The good you see in others is within you. And vice versa. It's always we're meeting people and we're seeing people. And we see how they live. And we're comparing because we want what they have, you know. Like, it's kind of envious in a bit. If you let it get out of control. But you can use people as inspiration. Be like, hey, man, that person's doing this thing. And I would like to live my life that way, too. Let me try to build myself towards being that way. Let's see if it works. Which is a beautiful thing with life itself. You can literally change your entire personality. You can change your entire everything with just one decision to do it. And then taking the steps and actions to do it. You can be anybody you want to be. I don't know how to talk, and I want to talk. I don't know why, but I need to talk. So here I am talking, you know? It's little steps like this that we take to be who we want to be, even if we don't know who we want to be. But anyway, I feel like I'm rambling. I've gotten to nearly 19 minutes here, so I think I'll end it here. I hope you guys have a good one. Be easy on yourself. Conquer those fears because I know you're going to. Even if I don't know you, I know you're going to. Because you deserve to. You deserve to have the life that you want to live. You deserve to have a life without fear and your shadows anchoring you down into people who you aren't, you know? You deserve to live in authenticity. And that's what this journey is all about. And hopefully that's what this podcast is about too. Getting people closer to who they truly are. Hopefully you guys can find something that resonates with you. So anyway, take care.